Okay, should I go ahead? I think recording is in progress.
Yes, please go ahead.
Hello, Porus. Good afternoon. It's ironic that we all are, who are, kind of not sitting in the room with you, are all connected, but not connected with you. Nevertheless, I have to catch a plane to be in your bar tomorrow in Mumbai. So this is the recorded message. Porus, you don't need any introduction, but for whatever it is worth, you are a luminary in the field of tax law, and your illustrious career is marked with academic excellence and professional distinction. I'm not going to repeat what was stated earlier that we all heard about, but you were an important representative in the Harvard Law School Council. You possess a distinguished education background with first-class honors from the Government Law College, a city where I was born, and prior to that, Sydenham College, another important city. Your professional journey is adorned with numerous prestigious roles and accolades. I'm not going to repeat all of that, but our association strengthened because of IFA much before you became the president of the global organization. Position, in my view, underscores the global influence IFA had over a decade back when you were elected as the first president from the Asia Pacific history in IFA's then 75-year history. You've got many distinctions besides being a senior advocate and a legal acumen. I had the privilege to be with you as one for a very short while as a member of the PSC because you got elevated as the president. Your expertise in corporate law, corporate tax law is well recognized because of the awards that you won on the client choice by the ILO in 2001. You clearly have been a face of the international face of the Indian tax practice as per consecutive surveys. The eloquence and the depth of knowledge that you have makes you a most sought after speaker. So I was least surprised to hear that you were at the 21st David Tillinger's address at the New York University. Porus, good luck with your distinguished career. I'm sure your best is yet to come. I wish you great innings ahead and more importantly, fantastic health. Please keep spreading the message, shaping the landscape of tax advocacy and education and inspiring us all in the legal fraternity. Thank you, Porus. Good luck. Akim, you want to go next?
Okay. Well then, Porus, hello Porus, and I have to do what Mukesh has just done because Mukesh has to win his case and at least attend to his case, and I have to go to the OECD Council in a couple of minutes, which is why I'm also doing this recorded message. There are so many things, and I guess others will also do this, to just recall your distinguished career, your achievements. I will just cap up a couple of points, I think, in my brief words here. It's a journey in international taxation, I think, that you have undertaken with exceptional dedication, insights, preparation, a lot of preparation, diligence, and dedication as you've moved. My journey, I think, also in the association with IFA, showing my age here, also goes way back. I remember being awarded a prize at the IFA meeting in Delhi, I think in 1997. Let's quickly forget about this and make it a different number. That's also quite a while ago. I have enjoyed your company tremendously, including at your birthday celebrations, but not just there, also as a chair. And I see Lieselot here, I think, who was also on the panel last year as we were in Cancun. And I think you excelled in the combination of very diligent preparation. And I understand from your colleagues that is the nature of you also in your case preparation, and probably also a testimony and a reason to the success that you've had. And you combine this, I think, with exceptional qualities of humor. You have the interest in the topic, you have the passion for the topic, and also, and I think that is quite exceptional, you combine a deep understanding of the commercial realities in which the tax law is grounded with the application of the law and the conceptual that you then bring to bear, both the conceptual, the understanding, the framework, taking it out of the facts, but fully aware of the facts, and you combine that. And on a personal message, it was a fantastic time working with you, certainly in preparing the panels, enjoying the panels. But the best is still to come. I echo this, as Mukesh has just said it. Keep up the focus, keep up the passion. You're an essential pillar, should I say, as the person with a two pillar, but you're a true pillar of our international tax community. Thank you very much.
No, I will take the lead and we'll go ahead with the other speakers who are virtually connected. I think there is a connectivity issue at the premises where it's happening in Mumbai. Be that as it may I request the IFA Global President Guglielmo to make his presentation.
Yes.
Is he there? Mr. Maestro, please
yes.
go ahead.
Yes, if you can you give me just a minute, 1 second, and yes, it's a pleasure to congratulate and be here with Paulus, and congratulations indeed for your very important and exceptional career. We have known each other at IFA. We were both members of a permanent scientific committee, and we did made a long journey together with IFA. And I inherited your leadership within IFA and the development of the activities of organization. But not only did we work together with International Fiscal Association, but we have also shared presentations at the conferences of our organization and also outside the International Fiscal Association. I appreciated your skills in managerial advice within the context of the institutional activities of the International Bureau of Fiscal Documentation, where an organization where you play a very important role in the delegated board of trustees. Nothing to say about what has been said already about your sense of humor that everyone knows you do have, and your successful career in the practice. I will not mention the several tax treaty cases that you have been, let's say, successfully defending in court, even very recently. And so, with my warmest congratulations. I'm sorry not to be in Mumbai, but I will certainly see you very soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Guglielmo. This is a pleasure to have you and an honor to have your presentation here at this Felicitation function. Thank you very much.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you.
May I request Philip Baker to make his comments?
Thank you very much indeed, PVSS. I hope you can all hear me. I am really delighted to be asked to join this felicitation for Porus. It is immensely deserved, and it's a wonderful opportunity for IFA India and for IFA worldwide to honor Porus. Many things have already been said about Porus. The fact that he was the first IFA president from India, the fact that he was president at the time of the conference in Mumbai. Not many people have spoken particularly about his role as a barrister, so perhaps as another senior counsel. I'll point out that he is highly respected amongst the advocacy community as a leading advocate on international taxation, having appeared in a large number of cases. In fact, I think I first encountered Porus in connection with cases from India in relation to the taxation of shipping companies. Of course, his most recent triumph has been the Tiger Global case, where if you read the case, you realize the wide range of issues that he submitted to the court and on which he was successful. So Porus congratulations on your role and your standing as senior counsel. Of course, I would add two particularly personal points. Firstly, that you and I are both on the delegated board of trustees of IBFD, and it's a tremendous pleasure when you join our meetings and we work together for the good of the IBFD. And finally, you are, of course, a door tenant of my chambers in London, having taken the quite extraordinary step of being admitted as a UK barrister, where in some cases barristers from overseas are admitted without taking exams. The Bar Standards Board, for its own reasons, decided that a barrister from India should take the exams. You coped marvelously with that requirement, and you are now a full barrister of the UK, full rights of audience, and I'm delighted to say that you are a fellow member of my chambers, and on behalf of the members of Field Court Tax Chambers, may we associate ourselves with this felicitation and congratulate you. So, Porus, all our congratulations, and to India, IFA, very well done in taking this opportunity to honor Porus as a former president of IFA. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Philip. Thanks a lot. May I request Lislot Kana to make her presentation?
Thank you very much. And thank you again for inviting me to take part in this felicitation ceremony for Porus. Many eloquent speakers already have probably said everything that I wanted to say. There's not very much left, Porus, but I just say a couple of things, I think highlighting a little bit my reference with you and my contacts with you. First of all, you are a wonderfully warm person. So on a personal level, it's really delightful to always work with you as a person. Of course, also a very highly technical level. And this combination I have experienced since we met in 2004 in the IFA Vienna conference, where I was chair of a panel, and you and I this was our first experience together. We shared it, and it was a really wonderful experience, and I got to know you first there. Now, many of our colleagues are, of course, of highly technical level. But I think what you have, Porus, is something that very few has, and I certainly do not have it, is that special extra, the humor. It is always, your panels are always really interesting, well prepared, we've heard, of course, but also you have that extra touch, which makes it delightful to work with you, to be on your panels and listen to you. The only thing I can say is really sad that you're so far away. I don't see you enough. Take care, Porus. It's been wonderful, and I look forward to the next years working with you again. Take care.
Thank you a lot. Thanks a lot. May I request Stefan Wiegel? Steph, please go ahead with your comments.
Yes, thank you, Prasad, and very nice to see everyone, in particular Porus, but also the other IFA friends. It makes me really happy. Of course, the later you are in this lineup of speakers, the more reduced your potential for saying other things gets. So I could just say I echo what the other speaker said, but that's probably not a good idea. But I think I have to add a few things. First of all, in preparation or in thinking a bit about this meeting, I did a Google search on Kaka and Van Wegel, just to be reminded of the many, many times that Porus and I have been acting in tandem, because I had the immense privilege of being the chair of the Permanent Scientific Committee of IFA during the same 4-year period that Porus was the president of IFA. So we got to visit the world. Boris will remember the many places we went to celebrate IFA, to bring IFA to other parts of the world. Boris, what I'm going to say now, you will smile. You remember this trip to China, where we spent a week to see if we could finally get an IFA branch in China off the ground. And that was all extremely pleasant. But at some point, you and I got somewhat uncomfortable because we were hustled in a room and presented with something that may very well have been a contract because we could not decipher the Chinese characters. And as before, I will leave open whether we signed that document. But you remember the uncomfortable, somewhat anxious feeling that this happening left us both with. But if I go, so this is me reading from the Google search, interviews, panels, fireside chats, IFA, APEC, I think this was Kuntal Dave who organized this, you'll remember, looking at text Earth from Mars with a cup of coffee. The IFA US Annual Conference 2017, the Asia Pacific New Delhi Conference 2017, Asia Pacific Singapore 2015. Just unbelievable how many, I think I roped you into IFA OECD seminars last year. As some will know, all of you know, I retired on July 1st, but then before September arrived, I get a call from, I retired from practice. Boris calls me and said, I need you in my IFA OECD seminar in Cancun. So before I knew it, I was on a plane to Mexico, where I had the privilege of being in your seminar. I add something that was said already when I asked you whether you would consider to join the Board of Trustees of IBFD, which I chaired at the time and still chair. You were kind enough to accept, and not only that, when I told you to take into account before considering that there would be no remuneration for a member of the Board of Trustees of IBFD, you paused for a moment and you said, well, if there is no remuneration, the duty of care is much higher than in case I would receive consideration. So that's also a testimony to your attitude, your professionalism. Finally, I mentioned the executive board of IFA. When you were president of IFA, you will recall many moments where we conferred together one-on-one to discuss difficult situations. All in all, this has been a fantastic journey, and I feel so privileged to have been part of it. And I wish to underscore what Lisa Lott just said. To me, the bottom line at the end, I mean, all the technical stuff and the IFA things are very nice and important, but the personal relationship, the warmth that you radiate, the sincere interest in your friends, and we spent, many moments together on a bicycle at our house in the Netherlands, in Switzerland, when we were visiting the Swiss Ministry of Finance to dig up MFN materials. It's all been such warmth and such a privilege, and I hope that there will be many more years to celebrate. I apologize if I went on a bit long, Pashat, but thank you very much, and again, this was a pleasure.
Thanks a lot, Steph. It has been a pleasure to have you. Speaking today at this felicitation. May I now request Akhilesh Ji Ranjan to make his comments.
Thank you, Prasad, and hello everyone. It's great to see some very old friends on this panel, and hear you all and see you all today. I'm actually quite pleased to be able to speak today on this occasion, not just because Porus has been a very good friend, but also because I have a tremendous regard for his professional competence, his abilities, his skills, and above all, on his qualities as a great human being. Of course, there have been many issues and tax issues on which Boris and I have had different views. There has been a variation in those views, but that's only to be expected because I think his perspective has been from the protection of the rights of taxpayers, while my perspective has been in implementing tax laws so that the government can gain maximum amount of revenue in a just and legitimate manner. But I think there is no conflict really between those perspectives. There is a complementarity, in fact, and that's a great part about knowing you as an individual and as a professional, Porus. A lot has been said today by my speakers before me about your competence, and I don't need to really say those things again. One can go on listing out your achievements and your contribution to the world of tax and to the world of law. But I would just like to emphasize on your great contribution to IFA as an organization. I think the 4 years that you spent as a president and even earlier, I think there has been a lot of changes in a lot of build up in IFA as an organization. It has always been very highly regarded as a technically very great organization, but then the reach of IFA was earlier largely Eurocentric, but then I think somewhere down the line, particularly during your tenure as president, I think IFA became a truly global organization, and we have started seeing a lot of participation from Singapore, Hong Kong, India, countries in Africa, etc. I personally, I think I have the distinction of being the first Indian tax official to have been invited to IFA as a speaker, and that was also during your stewardship of the organization. I've had a great time out there and interacting with all the other distinguished people. I must really thank you for that opportunities. And it's been great really knowing you and interacting you all these years on so many complex tax issues as well as on a personal level. Well, I'm sure, Boris, you have a lot left in you, a lot of work to be done. I think there is a lot that you can still contribute to the development of law, to the development of international tax policy, and above all to the development of society. I wish you all the best and in all your future endeavors. I really wish that you were there, present, right there in person to felicitate you. But please do accept my heartiest best wishes and all good wishes for the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Akhilesh ji, for your nice comments. And may I request Mr. Ajay Vora, past chairman IFA India, to make his comments on this occasion. Ajay ji, are you there?
Yeah,
hello.
Sir.
Anyhow.
Thank you, Mr. Prasad. Can you hear me?
Please.
Yeah.
Yes, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
So I said to Porus, my colleague and contemporary at the bar and a dear IFA friend, I think Porus, when you took over as member of the Permanent Scientific Committee in 2004, I think that was the time when India introduced almost the transfer pricing legislation, and over time there had been substantial tax disputes which you pitchforked into the IFA forefront, and India had a stellar role in discussions at various IFA conferences with regard to the jurisprudence that was developing over time in India. Your stint at the IFA as a member of the Permanent Scientific Committee from 2004 to 2011, I think highlighted several topical issues that were confronting Indian practitioners, and those decisions were also impacting the discussions around the world. Subsequently, your taking over as global president of IFA worldwide, which was indeed an honor not only for India, but for the Asia Pacific region, saw India hosting the Mumbai Congress with great success, and that is truly remembered till today. You have made sure that India has an important role in the IFA deliberations. India is an important part of the IFA world, and we had so many friends who have been visiting India from the IFA fraternity, which truly makes IFA really a global organization, a global center for dialogue and discussion between tax practitioners across the world. Much has been said about your educational qualifications, your professional accomplishments. I don't wish to repeat that, but I have seen for myself the meticulous preparation that you put in every case that you take up. Your immaculate delivery in the court impresses one and all, including the judges, of course, no doubt about that. Every matter and every decision is a reflection of the painstaking efforts that are put by you at the back end, which is a true epitome of your commitment and dedication to the profession. You have really enlarged the Indian tax jurisprudence by your painstaking effort. Every decision that has been issued, in fact, Philip mentioned about the latest Tiger Global, which I think is going to be a masterpiece in itself for the years to come. You are truly, for us, a legend in your own right, and you will be remembered by practitioners, by youngsters, as a role model and a source of inspiration. Above all, I can only say that your soft-spoken, humble and friendly disposition, I think, is something that really stands out apart from your professional achievements. Good luck to you, and I hope you have many more years of good health and good work that you do for the tax fraternity in India and globally. All the best to you, Porus. Thank you.
Thank you, Ajayji, for your comments. And now, as IFA India chairman, I'm very sorry for the connectivity issue that has come up, but all the comments that have been made by the esteemed panelists are recorded, and it would be played before Porus Kaka. And in fact, I'm also presently traveling and not in India, and I'm in the US. That's why I joined you, all of you, along as a virtual panelist. And it's a great pleasure and privilege to felicitate our good friend and senior advocate, Mr. Porus Kaka. And I would really compliment IFA WRC for taking the lead and scheduling this excellent program. And as said by all of you, in many words, and Porus is a very, very successful, highly accomplished attorney, and both in India and a barrister in England. And in fact, his academic achievements and accomplishments are are a testimony for his national organizations like IBFD, where he's a trustee now, and is also in the editorial board of the World Tax Journal. And much is said about him, and I really would like to share some of my personal experiences with him. When I joined IFA way back in 2004 at the encouragement of Mr. Ostwal, my good friend from Mumbai. That time we have conducted one inauguration ceremony of the IFA Hyderabad subchapter. I'm based out in Hyderabad, India. And there we wanted to launch Hyderabad subchapter, for which an inauguration ceremony was lined up. And we have invited Mr. Soli Dastur, Porus Kaka Senior, the time, to grace the occasion and give the keynote address. When we are lining up the program, and Ms. Porus was in touch with me, that was the first time I got an interaction with Porus, and he has been continuously alerting me and reminding me to make the function a grand success, as his senior is visiting Hyderabad along with Mr. Ostwal. And of course, we spared no effort, and it was conducted in the Chamber of Commerce Hall in Hyderabad, where it can accommodate some 170 people, but it was overflowing with 200 plus audience, most of them standing and hearing Mr. Dastur and Mr. Ostwal at the inauguration ceremony of IFA Hyderabad. That is the first interaction I had with Porus. Since then, he is a great, affectionate friend, ever smiling to help and promote the cause of IFA anytime, whenever we wanted at Hyderabad. During his global presidency as of IFA, he visited Hyderabad twice to inaugurate some of the events between 2013 and 17. And it's a great honor and privilege India had in having him as the first global IFA president coming from the entire South Asia I mean, Asia Pacific region and also India in particular. And in fact, during his, I mean, whenever we approach him for any sort of support for any technical program, he's ever willing to reach out and help us in all means. And he's a role model for the young professionals. And his technical presentations are already explained by all other co-panelists. They're always filled with rich technical expositions, coupled with subtle wit and humor, and the clarity of thought and addressing the issues in a lucid manner is the norm with Porous. And that is what Porous is. And in fact, I really am fortunate to be part of this function. And he richly deserves all this felicitation. And it's my pleasure and privilege to wish him all the very best in all his future endeavors. As rightly said by the eminent panelists, co-panelists here, much is there in store for him and to reach greater heights. And I wish him all the very best in all his future endeavors and wish him all the very best. Thank you. And I thank all the co-panelists again, once again, and I'm very sorry for the connectivity issue that has come up. All this recording would be played and Porous would really acknowledge the compliments and the comments made by all of you. Thank you very much. I don't see any other panelists yet to speak in the list of panelists here. And thank you very much. It's a pleasure meeting all of you. And I think we can log out now. And thanks, Steph. Thanks, Guglielmo. Thanks, Philip. Thanks, Kanaji. Kana, Lislot Kana from UN Tax Committee, and all others, Akhilesh ji and Ajay ji in this thing. Thank you very much. We can now leave. Thank you.